333BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors. You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan.
For ribs done right, slow cooked to perfection, come to Lady Louise's place and get authentic home-cooked comfort foods at reasonable prices. Come in today for great lunch specials like these. 4-bone rib sandwich, $5.95. 3-piece whiting fish sandwich, $3.99. Cajun turkey wing, $5.95. Chicken leg and thigh, $1.99. Join our rewards club and get $5 off your next meal. We cook the way Big Mama cooks. Lady Louise's on West McNichols at Greenfield. Call 313-273-3663.
Computers for only $200? That's right, computers for only $200. Let All About Technology get you started. Get a computer for only $200. And don't forget, if you need any assistance or computer help on your existing computer, we can help. Hardware, software, network, you name it. All About Technology can do it. Call 313-218-4888 or go to www.allabouttechnology.com, the home of the $200 computer.
Welcome to Josephine's Food for the Soul, where we make eating a pleasant experience. You can taste the love.
Whether it's our delicious barbecue ribs and chicken or tasty sides, you can just taste the love. Join us on Fridays for hot fish guaranteed to make your mouth water. Don't want to leave home? No problem. We'll deliver. For delicious home-style cooking, stop by. We are located at 18,000 East 9 Mile Road between Kelly and Gratiot. Call 586-362-8155 to place your orders.
The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
Got back, did a little bit, now we hardy, puffy, tough, do-rag and Tim's, kinda hard to get a job, back out on the block, charge that to the game. Young girl, she grew up in a rush, had it bad, no doubt, she don't know who to trust, every man she ever loved, only wanna crush.
Hi, my name is India, and thank you so much for tuning in to Expose Under the Sun. Today we have two very important guests, Ron and John, and they're here to talk about a very, very serious matter that a lot of people are unaware about. So we're going to start off with just hearing a little bit about yourselves and who you are.
Thank you, India. I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak to you over and your listeners. My name is John Tatar, and I've been involved with the smart meter business or against the smart meters since 2013. But I actually was an electrician on a journeyman side since for about 30 years. And I also studied in the military as medical equipment repairman, also electronics. So I have some background in the electrical field. Outside of that, I was a teacher for 31 years, and I retired as a lieutenant colonel in the military.
Okay, and Ron, what about you?
Thanks again, India. My name is Ron Sassak, and my background in dealings with John has been over the course of the last 30-some odd years. And I have my law degree from the Detroit College of Law, 1981. And I base research and do things with John in conjunction with the smart meters to help get issues presented in the proper venues and to certain people that can do things to help the citizens of the state of Michigan and see avenues of remedy, and hopefully that they'll go the right way.
Great, great. So my first question is, you talked about smart meters, and you and John been dealing with the smart meters. Can you tell the people a little bit about what smart meters actually is, because a lot of people don't know what they are.
Smart meter is a device that DTE is now installing or actually deploying on people's homes. The smart meter has a two-way radio broadcast system on it that broadcasts your use of electrical energy to DTE and then broadcasts from DTE back to your house.
Okay.
Versus a regular old analog meter which just measures electricity. The problem with this is that there are a lot of, not only the fact that they're measuring electricity, but they're measuring all of the appliances in your house. Eventually, they're going to force you and everybody in the United States to get StarSmart appliances, which are going to be Wi-Fi'd, and those with a chip in it, and those appliances are going to be read by the smart meter.
Okay.
Not only that, but DTE has the ability to now gather all this information and sell this information, even though they say they're not going to sell this information to people. This is data mining. But it's like opening Pandora's box. You know, they say they're not going to do something, just let us do it, and then eventually they're going to do it. 10 years from now, people are not going to understand where the whole thought process came from. But now DTE is selling energy, or selling information, rather.
Wow.
So this is a problem.
Wow. And so is this smart meter, is this harmful, or is it just, you know, something that, what do I want to say, just something to trick the people into doing something, you know, like subliminally from DTE, or how is it harmful to human beings, the smart meters?
I want to let you know that though I'm not a scientist nor a doctor, I have done extensive studies and readings. There are people on the internet named Barry Trower and Nick Begich, Dr. Nick Begich, and Dr. Carpenter, and these people have done the studies of the smart meter and has shown that this electromagnetic frequencies that are being created by the smart meter in your home, as well as the radio, they call it RF, which is microwave frequencies, and you know about microwave and the dangers of microwave.
Yes.
These are the dangers that are being faced with human beings. Now, we are electrical beings, and we have a certain resonance with the Earth's surface called a Schumann resonance. And the problem is that the smart meters are upsetting the resonance. And that will cause, sometime in the future, health problems. We already know of people personally that have had problems from the smart meter. One person in particular had a smart meter put on her house. She broke out into total body rash.
Wow.
And when she removed the smart meter from her house, that body rash went away.
Wow.
We know of other people that have had nosebleeds or headaches or heart palpitations. And in fact, I know of another woman who actually showed up in Lansing at one of the Lansing meetings for MPSC that said that when they put the smart meter on her house, within a couple of days, she had to use a cane to walk around. And within a couple of days after that, she was using a walker. And then a couple of days after that, she was in a wheelchair. And then she ended up getting bedridden, couldn't get out of bed, until her husband removed the smart meter. And a couple of days later, she was fine.
Wow.
So we are running into these people that are what I consider canaries in the coal mine. They're already saying that there are problems with these smart meters, that they're being physically affected by these smart meters. And yet DTE and our government in Lansing have turned a blind eye to this. They're saying, you know, people aren't, that woman that could barely walk was at that Lansing meeting, but nothing was transpired from that.
Wow, wow. That's very interesting. DTE says that the radiation emitting from their meters is no more than using a cell phone. How do you respond to that?
That may or may not be true. Here's the point. Do you sleep with your cell phone?
No.
Do you carry it on your head all day long?
No.
Do you, or carry it in your pocket all day long? Is it part of your body all day long? You have the right to shut it off. You have the right to put it in another room, but the smart meter, you can't. Once it's on your house, it radiates radio frequencies or microwave frequencies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And a person has no control over that.
No control at all. You can't shut it off.
Okay. Wow. Wow. So are the smart meters useful in providing accurate bills, or does it benefit or outweigh any harmful effects?
The only accurate bill that it would provide is during their peak time. If they know exactly when their peak time is. The problem with peak time is it's not in stone. So today it may be from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and tomorrow it may be 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock, or 7 to 8 o'clock. That's fluctuating. And the problem with that is they, during peak time, can charge you 3-4 times this amount of money. You're being charged presently somewhere under $1 for kilowatt hours. At peak time, you could be charged up to 3 times that, 4 times that.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And Ron, I want to ask you, would you say that analog meters are better, and why?
Well, when
If
you
they
look
are.
at the construction of an electromechanical, which is called an analog meter, it only is a measuring device of electricity going into the customer's home.
Okay.
It doesn't broadcast, it doesn't record what appliance is being used or how much. It just records from month to month how many kilowatts that house consumed. When you look at the AMI meter, it's an electronic device that measures in real time, that through the Wi-Fi system, Detroit Edison can know if somebody walked into your house and turned on all the lights, if somebody turned on the TV, the stereo, and can track that in real time. It's so sensitive. So when you talk about what is better, I say that it comes down to a matter of choice. That DTE has been delegated and created by the Michigan legislature to be a monopoly, to supply energy in a safe manner. And if new technology is great, and there's nothing wrong with new technology. We always want to advance. We always want to save money. We always want to be able to be more conservative in not wasting resources, non-renewable resources. But when you talk about the AMI meter itself, there's experts that say, electrical engineers, in fact, that say that the AMI meter made in China, installed by DTE, was made on the cheap. And it's going to have problems, not just in the way that it operates, but its life, the temperature that it operates at, which have led in some instances to fires. Now, thank goodness, I don't want anybody to die from it, but to get the attention of DTE is pretty difficult right now because they think they hold all the cards. So back to your original question, which one is better? That's up to the consumer to decide. If people are not informed, they're going to take whatever they think that they've been told is good or bad, that the AMI meter is to help you to reduce your energy bill, or that analog meters are obsolete and we can't give you one anymore. And that's the problem with this issue. That, again, it's like John said, the canary in the coal mine. Not everybody is as sensitive as everybody else. People with allergies can't sit in a party area with smoke.
Right.
Other people, they're the smoker and it still doesn't bother them. But the problem with this is to say that one's better than the other is kind of like missing the point. The electromechanical meter measures electricity fine. I'm sure that DT will say, well, there's ways that people can cheat it by putting magnets on the side of their meter box and the wheel doesn't spin as fast. And there are people that do that, but they can be dealt with on a case-by-case basis. But in this instance, I say it comes down to that under the law, there should be a choice. And the choice should be in favor of citizens who recognize a problem, can opt out, and keep their analog meters.
Can I make one more comment about that? The electromechanical meter, known as the analog, is made of glass and steel. The smart meter is made of plastic. The outside of the smart meter is plastic and most of the innards are plastic. And something to catch fire, we're talking about electricity here that's operating at 240 volts into your house. And we're talking about running through a plastic device which could catch fire. And you know that plastic is flammable to a degree, whereas the glass and the steel is not. And to my knowledge, I've never heard of an analog meter having an issue. Yet in California, when a truck struck a pole, 8,000 meters blew off the houses. They were all smart meters.
Wow.
We do know of houses in Michigan that have caught fire. One that just recently up north burned to the ground, and it was caused by a smart meter. We do know of another lady who actually has a court case in court right now that had a fire in her meter box. And this is because of the cheap that this smart meter is made from, the way it's built.
Wow. So pretty much DTE is going to do anything they can to save money for themselves.
And that isn't a bad thing, because they're beholden to stockholders. And in that vein of saying they're providing energy under the fact that they were created by the Michigan legislature to do it with a monopoly, Consumers Energy is on the west side of the state and Detroit Edison on the east side of the state, they're supposed to do it. And they can charge a reasonable rate. If they want a rate increase, they have to go in front of the MPSC to justify why they're allowed to charge more per kilowatt hour, or they need to, again, rewire or what have you. But yes, it should be based on technology that can save everybody. We don't want to burn up the planet. We don't want to use all the resources and leave our children without any way to generate, and we should go to renewables, but it should be mandated. It should be forced on the citizens.
Yes, I
And when
agree.
you talk about the form of governments that we have, we're republics, which means delegated authority. And we never delegated the authority to our legislature to create an entity called Detroit Edison to be more powerful than the citizens.
Wow.
It's not that we want energy for free. We want people to be allowed to make that choice. And if the choice might inconvenience DTE, then maybe they can convince the MPSC to allow those customers to pay more for their own peace of mind. Not DTE's peace of mind, but the customer's peace of mind. And this is what this is about, because this is how our government is supposed to operate. DTE should make a profit to pay their stockholders, and again, do it in a safe way that if people want the technology, I know people that want the latest and greatest. Anything that comes out, they'll wait in line for the next phone. Fine, but let the people make that choice, and if they want it, then they should be able, they're entitled in the Republic to have it.
Yeah, I agree. So my next question to you guys is, how can a person refuse to have this smart meter installed, or is it mandatory? Is it something that must be done or has to be done?
DTE will say the short answer is it must be done. But when you look at the history, again, when you talk about technology that didn't exist at the time, the so-called authority for the power companies to mandate their equipment and change it out if they desired to, didn't exist with the smart meter. So when you have a change in facts that are unique to the present time, in the legal aspect of that has to be revisited. And it hasn't been properly revisited by even informal hearings with state legislators or city councils or mayors of different municipalities, and they seem to not want to even have a valid debate about it. It's not to say that everybody is going to be harmed, but if people, again, are susceptible and sensitive, they should have the ability, without suing people in court, the expense, time, and money, to say, hey, I just want the opt-out. Opt-out electromechanical meters. DTE's ideas, they're obsolete. They're not made anymore. But that, again, is not the truth. They're still being made, and certain communities, not just around the world, but in Canada and the United States, are saying, back this technology out. But right now, seems to be the case where, back to your original question, DTE will say it's mandatory. In the Republic, I say it's voluntary.
Wow, that's very interesting. How does this affect homes versus apartment buildings or townhomes? What's the difference when DTE installs a smart meter inside of a home? Is it more dangerous inside of a home, or is it more dangerous inside of an apartment building? What's the difference?
It's generally more dangerous inside an apartment building because most of the meters for electricity are in one location, a bank of meters.
Okay.
So you may have 10, 15 meters. Now, if you happen to be the apartment that's the furthest away and in the basement, you're probably okay. Except you still have electromagnetic frequencies that are created by the smart meter, which is also dangerous, but you may not get any microwave frequency. But if you happen to be the poor person that has the smart meter on the opposite side of their wall where they're sleeping, and now they got 10 meters breathing down their neck with microwave radiation, they're in big trouble.
Wow. Wow.
And a lot of people that are living in condos and apartments that have had 2, meters on their house or 3 meters on their house have been affected for this.
Wow.
And so this is a problem that apartments and condominiums have. But you being a resident of an apartment, you don't have much to say about it because
Right,
it's the
yeah.
apartment complex that makes that decision,
Yeah.
not you.
Yeah.
Even though, as Ron has put it, it should be up to the individual person that's operating in that or that has that particular energy that is paying that bill and that for that particular meter. I want you to also understand that DTE and consumers and the water companies or the local water companies are trying to put smart meters on all of those utilities.
Okay.
The water departments are pressing smart water meters. The gas companies are pressing gas smart meters, and they're all to be read by the electric meter. So DTE can control, or whoever is at the other end of that switch can control the use of your gas, water, and electric in your house. Not
Wow.
only to consider the fact that they're watching all of your appliances that you're using. So this is a total control by an individual organization.
Yes.
That's scary.
Yes, very, very. I just want to cut you off for a minute to say that if anyone out there has questions about this, please feel free to call 313-868-0342. I know we had a couple callers as we were talking, but again, the number is 313-868-0342. Yeah. So that is very, very interesting, like I said, and a lot of people, they're not aware of the dangers from DTE. And, it's not like we get a choice. When you move an apartment building or a home, you got consumers or you got DTE. It's not like a
Absolutely.
cable company where you have AT&T, you got WOW, so this is really important information. We have a caller right here. I'm going to take this. Caller?
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you. How
Hello?
are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Do you have a question for Ron or John? Hello?
Hello?
Bad connection.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead with your question, sir.
I have been having bad headaches and chest pains real bad ever since they installed the meter. And I thought it was the house next door to me that they was tearing down, and I've been having a hard time breathing, and I've been having chest pains. And I've been wondering where I was getting this from. I didn't know it until I just turned to your station.
When did you put your when did your smart meter go on your house?
They put it on about a couple of weeks ago.
Did you notice that your headaches and your other problems started showing up at that time?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Would be my guess that you are being affected by either EMF, which is electromagnetic frequencies that are created by the smart meter, or RF, which is microwave frequencies that are being created by the smart meter. Now, how you're going to know that exactly? There are ways of testing the houses with the proper metering equipment. You can go out with a meter and you can find out what the RF or EMF levels are in your house and take some appropriate action so you can at least survive through this battle that we're having with DTE and the other utilities. But until you know exactly what the problem is, you can't do it. Now, there are ways you can, the meters are expensive. The one meter is like $500. The other meter isn't too expensive. But you need at least those 2 meters to decide what's going on in your house. Before the end of the program, I'd like to give you our website, and at least you can go there and get some more information and contact somebody from that website and even have your house read and see what the situation is.
Can you give the caller and the people the website now so they can get more information on that?
Sure, it's oneifbyland.org, and that's all spelled out. There's no numbers involved in that. So it's again oneifbyland.org.
And if I could interject something?
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, if you're having medical conditions that, again, started just recently, and I don't want to give you legal advice, but I suggest that you go to your doctor and start having a diagnosis and recording to say that when X happened, A happened. When Y was, again, a period of time, B started to happen. so that you have it memorialized. And I'm not saying that you should go and rack up all kinds of medical bills for examination with 2, 3 doctors. But again, if this is unique to you, based on the installation of the AMI smart meter, you need to have it recorded by a medical doctor that, in his opinion, his diagnosis is, but for the AMI meters being put on your residence, these symptoms would go away.
Yes. Thank you so much, caller.
Okay.
I hope you obtained that information. All right, good. So what he was saying is, I know a lot of people, they do have medical issues because of this, and that was some very, very good information. Can you please give us that website again so we can know where to go?
Absolutely. oneifbyland.org.
oneifbyland.org, all one word.
Yes.
Okay, and is there any other websites, any other social media sites that we need to be
Well,
aware of?
anybody that wants to get more information about the electromagnetic frequencies and their effects on the human body and the microwave frequencies, they should go to the YouTube and type in Barry Trower, and that's BarryTrower, or Nick Begich, and his Dr. Nick Begich, Begich, or Dr. David Carpenter. They have, and there are plenty more. If you type in there, you could be on the internet all night long listening to different doctors that have had information regarding EMF and RF.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. And that was some very valuable information. And thank you so much for watching Expose Under the Sun. And I was your host, India. Thank you so much. Great.
I'm fabulous.
Young cat got back, did a little bit. Now we hardy, puffy, tough, do-rag and Tim's kinda hard to get.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan.